everyone. Thank you for joining this online wellness workshop, Understanding Stress and Using Nature for Stress Management. My name is Zulma Taronis, and I'll be facilitating this virtual workshop today. I'm an outdoor health tech entrepreneur and independent consultant at the intersection of behavior psychology, experiential education, and clinical mental health. With over 12 years of experience, I'm excited to share with you all my expertise on stress and leveraging the natural environment around you to help strengthen your resilience and stress management. Let's begin with a quick roadmap of this workshop. We'll begin by defining key terms, including what is stress, the types of stress, and different stress triggers. We'll also identify common bodily stress cues before moving on to discussing developmental factors that influence long-term stress and well-being. We'll explore specific outcomes associated with chronic long-term stress before moving into nature-based practical stress reduction and management techniques. We'll even have an opportunity to practice some of these techniques. Finally, we'll close off with a quick review and short quiz before providing additional resources and links so that you can continue working on your stress journey on your own time. Throughout the workshop, activities and discussion points will be intermixed to make this as interactive as possible. Let's get started. So what is stress exactly? Stress is the emotional and physical overwhelm caused by challenging, difficult, unknown, or unsettling situations, events, people, or things, whether real or hypothetical. What do I mean by hypothetical? As humans, we can sometimes get stuck in negative thinking patterns, such as rumination and cognitive distortions, stressing ourselves out through imagined or hypothetical worst-case scenarios. These hypotheticals or what-ifs can cause stress even if they have not yet or perhaps will never occur. Have you ever experienced stress caused by hypothetical worst-case scenarios? When was the last time you experienced this type of stress? Take a moment to reflect on that experience and how it felt for you. Most, if not all of us, have experienced stress at any one point in our lives, caused by real or hypothetical scenarios, and we will continue to experience stress throughout our lifetimes. And although, generally speaking, stress is typically understood as a negative reaction, stress is not inherently good or bad. Rather, the intensity and frequency of the perceived stress, along with the effectiveness of our individual coping skills and stress management techniques, will inform the type of stress that we're experiencing. Overall, there are three main types of stress: eustress, acute, and chronic. Eustress is a positive resilience-building stress. It's the type of stress we might experience when encountering manageable and even enjoyable challenges, such as achieving a much-wanted goal or learning/strengthening a new skill, such as an outdoor sport activity. Acute stress is an immediate and short-lived type of stress that results from responding to new challenges or unexpected situations. This stress can cause varying levels of physiological and emotional reactions, but is typically manageable, short-lived, and can be mitigated by effective coping strategies and supportive relationships. Acute stress can be triggered by things such as a job loss, breakups, running late, or other similar scenarios. Chronic stress is the prolonged and excessive activation of the stress response system, or our sympathetic nervous system. Chronic stress can be a result of poor ongoing relationships, long-term unsustainable work or living environments, traumatic experiences, or other intense, strained life experiences. Chronic stress can lead to toxic stress, which leads to increased physical, mental, and behavioral health risks if not mitigated or resolved by supportive relationships and effective coping strategies. What is the biggest stressor you are currently experiencing? Is it family, work, interpersonal relationships, or some other stressor? Take a moment to identify your biggest stressor and see what stressors other people are experiencing. When we are stressed, our body has different ways of letting us know our sympathetic nervous system is activated. This can cause immediate bodily cues such as shallow breathing, rapid heart rate, and even panic attacks. Long-term symptoms of stress can include chronic aches and pains, high blood pressure, and even behavioral and mental health concerns such as substance use and depression and anxiety. It's important to build effective coping skills and stress management strategies to avoid having long-term effects and health risks. There are a few factors that can impact long-term stress and well-being. These include cultural beliefs, growth mindsets, inherited generational trauma, chemical imbalances, adverse childhood experiences, and more. In the next section, we'll focus on adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs, as these are developmental experiences that can have long-term negative effects if not mitigated appropriately. There are 10 officially recognized ACEs across 3 major categories. These include physical, emotional, and sexual abuse, as well as physical and emotional neglect, and under household dysfunction, there is mental illness, incarceration, domestic violence, substance abuse, and divorce. Because these happen at an early age, as the body and brain are still developing, ACEs can have a big impact on safety, stability, and bonding during childhood, and can have long-term impact on health, opportunity, and well-being that extend into adulthood. That is, if the child is not equipped with effective coping strategies and supportive relationships. If a child does not have good mitigating factors for ACEs and related stressors, this can result in chronic and toxic stress, which can lead to a variety of health outcomes, including substance abuse, risky behaviors, cardiovascular disease, immunodeficiencies, mental health disorders, and other chronic health issues. It is known that social determinants of health, such as socioeconomic class or education levels, can also compound the stress ACEs bring and thus potentially contribute to more toxic stress. Research has shown a cumulative effect with ACEs, where the higher ACE score you have, the more susceptible you are to certain health risks and outcomes as an adult. For example, a score of 4 ACEs is correlated with heavy smokers and heavy drinkers as adults, and are 6 times more likely to develop problematic drinking patterns and have elevated respiratory disease, diabetes, and cancers, compared to those with no ACEs. Those with over 6 ACEs have 2.7 times increased odds of reporting depressive symptoms during adulthood and 24 times increased odds of attempting suicide. As you can see, ACEs can have grave consequences on health and livelihood. It's estimated that about 68% of U.S. adults have experienced at least one ACE. What is your ACEs score? Please check all the ACEs you've experienced before the age of 18 to see how you compare with others. As you saw, 23.1% of U.S. adults reported one ACE, 23.5% reported at least 2 to 3 ACEs, and 17% reported 4 or more. Yet despite your ACE score and ongoing stress levels, research also shows that there are effective strategies to mitigate and at times even reverse some of the health risks or damage caused by stress throughout the lifetime. These include different techniques to help you tune into your body and surroundings in a non-judgmental manner, which is more commonly known as mindfulness techniques and somatic practices. Exercises such as progressive body scans, mindfulness meditations, breath work, and simply getting into a flow state or being in a zone fully immersed and engaged in an activity with energized focus and enjoyment can dramatically help you tap into your parasympathetic nervous system or your rest, digest, and de-stress system. The more you practice, the more you regulate your nervous system and can support the rewiring of your stress reaction levels. Furthermore, when you combine mindfulness and somatic practices with the outdoors, you are able to tap into the benefits of nature and enhance the wellness effects. Nature is evidence to restore clarity of mind and focus, improve mood, reduce blood pressure, and even cortisol levels, which are a stress hormone. Simply looking or enjoying green spaces has shown significant levels of improvement. Let's practice 2 simple exercises you can do anywhere, including the outdoors, to help you slow down, check in with yourself, and support your parasympathetic nervous system. We'll start with box breathing. First, find a comfortable seated or standing position with your shoulders rolled back, all essential body joints stacked. So if you're seated, this means your head is straight over your spinal column and stacked at the hips in a straight line. If you're standing, not only will your head and torso area be stacked over your hips, but your hips will also be stacked over your knees and ankles in a straight, strong stance. Make sure your hips are squared as well as your shoulders and your feet are firmly touching the ground. We'll do the first round with eyes open so that you can see and learn, and then you can repeat at your own pace with your eyes closed or however you wish. I'll guide and count as we practice. So again, get ready in your stance. And now take a big and slow inhale for 4 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now hold for 4 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And now audibly exhale for 4 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now pause again for 4 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And start the cycle all over again by breathing in for 4, pausing for 4, exhaling for 4, and then pausing for 4 before repeating 2 more times at your own pace. Your breathing should be cohesive and smooth as you won't be audibly counting, rather counting in your head. So instead of having that shortened inhale as you count 4, 3, 2, 1, it will be a smooth inhale as you count in your head. So this is called box breathing as you're doing the same counts of inhale, pauses, and exhale. So 4 inhales, 4-second pauses, 4-second exhales, 4-second pauses, and then you start that cycle again. Congratulations, you practice box breathing. This technique is well known to be used with high intensity and high stress careers and professions such as Navy SEALs and emergency responders, as it helps again, activate the parasympathetic nervous system, but ensure that we are breathing in a nice, easy flow and telling our bodies that we are nice and safe. It can also help reduce panic attacks or help us get out of a panic attack. We'll now move into another mindfulness/somatic practice, which I like to call 5 senses activation. This is another easy mindfulness/somatic practice that you can practice anywhere, but that works best outside or with a view of the outdoors. So once again, make sure that you find a nice, comfortable seated or standing position, either outside or by a window. And now you're going to focus on 5 things that you can see. From my window, I can see the leaves shaking in the wind. That's 1. I can see the different variety of greens in the leaves. That's 2. I can see birds flying overhead. That's 3. I can see people walking on the sidewalk. That's 4. I can see the different colors on the building facades. That's 5. Be as specific as you want. It doesn't have to be as general as I did. You can get really, really specific, such as the shape of the leaves, the color of the building facades, the texture. Really challenge yourself to find the details in your visual sense. Now, let's focus on 4 things that we can hear. Through my window, I can hear the birds chirping. I can hear cars driving by. That's 2. I can hear the wind rattling a curtain in the other room. That's 3. And now the last one. I can hear the wind rustling through the leaves. That's 4. And again, challenge yourself to really find the detail in your hearing sense. Now, let's move to the sense of touch. What 3 things can you feel? I can feel the shirt against my skin. It's 1. I can feel the breeze through my open window. That's 2. And I can feel the sturdiness of the ground holding my feet. That's 3. We have 2 more senses to go. The sense of smell and the sense of taste. Let's now focus on 2 things that we can smell. It's very faint, but through the open window, I can smell some of the leaves. It's an earthy, almost green smell. I can also smell, there's a little room spritzer that goes off automatically every now and then. And so I can smell that it has just been released. It's very floral, very botanical. And now one thing that you can taste. Sometimes we can find something immediately, especially if we're in the outdoors, but also be careful when you're trying things outdoors. Make sure that if you're trying a plant, it's a safe, edible plant, but you can have fun with it. You can taste if it's snowing, if it's raining, you can try to taste that. If you are inside and viewing nature through the window, perhaps you have a water bottle that you can taste. Or perhaps you have with you a coffee that you can taste. Try to have fun with this last sensory activity. What can you taste? Great job. You completed the 5 senses activation exercise. Again, this is an easy, simple way to tap into the senses and your own self and local environment. What are some ways that you currently tap into your body, senses, or even a flow state? Feel free to type out your answer in the text box below. Another great way to tap into your body, senses, and even a flow state is through outdoor sports and challenges, such as backpacking or rowing, basketball, etc. These are great ways to lean into nature, mindfulness, and sensory activation, and can help build mental and physical resilience. Congratulations on completing these exercises. We're almost done with this workshop. As of now, we've reviewed the definition of stress, including the types of stress, childhood factors that impact long-term well-being and stress, as well as reviewing and practicing techniques to slow down, tap into our bodies, and manage our stress in easy, simple ways. Before ending this module, please take a moment to review your learning by taking the short quiz following. Question 1. What are 3 types of stress? Question 2. What is cortisol? Is it a type of food? Is it a stress hormone? Is it a tool for de-stressing? Feel free to select the correct answer in this question section. Question 3 and final question. What are adverse childhood experiences linked to? Is it increased substance abuse, increased risky behaviors, increased chronic health issues, or all of the above? Great job with your quiz. Feel free to replay this whenever you need a quick refresher. Thank you again for joining today's session. I hope you got a lot out of it and are able to improve not only your own well-being, but also enhance the experience of those you lead in the great outdoors. Stay safe and take this knowledge forward into your practice and life. For more wellness tools, tips, and techniques, check out LifeStage's free online wellness hub, Inner Sanctum, at www.innersanctum.lifestages.us. Thank you again.